Hello everyone, this is Sever Banuelos, your real estate agent with Berkshire Hathaway with the EB Group Real Estate Advisors. Do you want to know what are the steps when you send an offer when you are a buyer purchasing a home? Watch this video. The first step is really important and maybe the hardest to take. When you are a buyer and you've never bought a home in the past, moving forward can be challenging just because many things are involved in the purchase of a property. Is the responsibility and the commitment to comply with those payments that your mortgage loan is required by the lender to stay in that property, to purchase that property. And well, the first step is to send that offer, right? After you found the property that you really like, even though it doesn't have everything in your wish list, but when you send an offer, you gotta be convinced that property is the one that you want for your family. And when I said that maybe that property doesn't have everything that you wish on your list, it's kind of really challenging to find the perfect home. But when it is in the right location, the place that you want your family to grow or you want to be, everything else is fixable. Cosmetic repairs, even big repairs, if it makes sense on the selling price, you should go for it. In my experience, working with buyers, especially first-time home buyers, it's challenging moving forward to send the first offer. And the first offer or an offer to purchase a property is just a proposal for the seller to purchase their property. To the eyes of the seller, they'll be looking at who is buying my property, how their financials look, how strong they are, and also in this market in 2018, we still have a lot of competition of many buyers coming with a lot of cash down payment or full cash offer to purchase a property. So we gotta be competitive, right? As I tell my clients, the buyers, everything is negotiable, but it has to make sense. If we put ourselves in the place of the seller, we'll understand better what is better to offer to them to win those offers. Negotiation, building rapport with the sellers is very important. The terms of the purchase contract or the purchase offer is also crucial for them to decide on moving forward with us. My dear buyers, the first step is sending that proposal to the seller. Make it clean, make it nice for them to choose your offer, right? At front, we cannot negotiate many things that we don't even know about the property. That's why we have, home inspections. But wait, once we are in escrow and the seller has accepted our offer, our proposal to purchase their property, the next thing is send them the earnest money deposit. And we have 3 days from the time that we open escrow, right? So as soon as we open escrow, we send them a check or we send them a wire transfer to escrow. Escrow is the middleman, the middle company who is working with the buyer and the seller, right? The escrow is the mediator, is neutral to buyer and sellers. So when we send the earnest money deposit or the security deposit, which usually is 3% of the purchase price, or it could be less, right? It goes straight to escrow. It doesn't go to the seller. As I mentioned before, my buyers should always do their own due diligences. I always highly recommend it to them. And in this case, we have 10 to 17 days for the home inspections. We get a home inspector, termite inspector, and if other inspections are needed in the property, we highly recommend to get those inspections done. If anything is wrong with the property, it's your choice, it's your decision. If you really like the property and you're willing to work on those repairs that are needed, everything is negotiable with the seller. But remember, in this market, 2018, we have a lot of competition. Many buyers who want to buy properties, and some of them are really strong, coming with a lot of cash in hand, and their purchase power become high. So keep that in consideration. Everything is negotiable, but keep in mind the situation in which that sale is at to the eyes of the seller. Next thing is we have 10 to 17 days for an appraisal. When you are financing, the lender is going to send an appraiser to evaluate the property and find out what is the real price based on comparables in the same area, usually within 1 mile or less, and with properties that are very, very, very similar to the one that we are buying or the subject property. In some cases, I get buyers who get frustrated because the bank is sending their own appraiser. They are afraid that they might appraise it at a maybe higher price or lower price, but it doesn't depend on the buyer's choice. It is a choice of the bank. The bank wants to protect themselves, making sure that they don't give you more money than what the value of the property is. It is optional. If you want to send your own appraiser, you have to pay for it as well, and the lender, the bank, won't use the appraiser that you are sending. They will use the appraiser that the bank is sending, not the one that the buyer wants to do the appraisal. The next contingency is the loan approval. Usually we have 17 to 21 days to get the loan approved. Lenders usually have conditions on their approvals, and we have to comply with what the conditions are, providing them with the documentation or proof of what the conditions are being requested for. And that's something that you should be talking to the bank, to the lender directly, right? They are the ones who are doing the loan for you. So we talk about contingencies, right? And the first contingencies is the home inspections, which we have 10 to 17 days. The next contingency is the appraisal contingency, which we have 10 to 17 days. And the next contingency is the loan approval, which we have 17 to 21 days to remove that contingency. The days that we have for each contingencies are negotiable. Obviously, the seller wants something quick, on the sale of the property most of the times, and that becomes one of the things to consider when we send an offer. Getting the inspections contingency can be really quick. We don't need up to 17 days. We can get it done in 7 to 10 days, right? Review the home inspections reports and all this, and come up to a decision. So the days on removing those contingencies are negotiable. 5 days prior to closing of escrow, preferably, we do the walkthrough, making sure that the property is in the same condition than when we saw it for the first time, making sure that those repairs that we requested for, which are always negotiable, were done, and that the property is in the condition that we want to close the transaction for. Last thing, and the most exciting one, is getting the keys for your house, and that's when we close escrow after the new deed has been recorded in the county. I hope this video helps, and if you have any questions or any concerns, check for our videos and more information here. My contact information should be here below, and if you have any comments, please share with us.